Welcome back, friends. It is Lauren the Soap Witch, and I am back with another in the making. So here I am measuring out lye to make another beer soap. This one I call Amethyst Arbor. It's just a mixture of cedarwood and lavender fragrance oils, and I thought I was being clever. Anyway, so here is my beer that I'm getting ready to add sugar and sodium lactate to. I know I'm a little controversial on my beer use because I do not boil out the alcohol and all that stuff from the beer. I just leave it. It doesn't even smell like beer. It can be a little risky because it will try to foam up when you add the lye, but it's just a risk I'm willing to take because I feel like it kind of wastes a lot of beer to have to boil so much out of it. And it turns out just fine at the end. So anyway, the reason I'm of course adding the sugar and the sodium lactate is because this is a countertop fluid hot process soap making. That's how I make every single bar soap that I do. And so here I am just stirring in those ingredients because I just want to make sure that they're dissolved before I move forward with adding my lye. So I'm going to add my lye to my liquid and never the other way around. I'm just going to stir that in thoroughly. And once I get it stirred all in, when the lye mixture and the oils are both between 200 and 180 degrees, I combine them together. Less than that temperature, it's caused problems for me. So now I'm going in with the stick blending, and I still think, I don't know what was going on here. Maybe it was just the size of the pot because I don't even think it fills half of the pot. But I don't think I never really did get this to trace. Can I say my words and not cut myself off? Okay. I don't ever think I got this one to trace. I just stick blended forever and it ended up being close to done. Anyway, so I'm just stick blending and you can just kind of see that it is trying to emulsify together. And we're just going to keep going until we get there. It finally got to this. It's getting to like a thicker consistency where it's looking like separated, though it never really fully came together that I remember. Anyway, it don't matter. So it's looking like got that separated look where it's like curdled almost, but that's actually a good sign. It means we're progressing. And you can just kind of see as I'm stick blending that it's definitely getting thicker. Even though it looks like loose and watery in some areas, I promise it is coming together. So this is what you're actually looking for if you're doing the stick blender method, which I don't think I was actually trying to do that, or was I? This was a while ago when I did this footage, so I don't remember what I was thinking. I don't remember what I was thinking yesterday. Moving right along. So just continuously stick blending, and you can just kind of see the consistency of what's under the stick blender when I lift it up. That's what I'm going for still. And I'm just proceeding to get this soap to the right consistency. So I'm just going to pull out my stick blender and clean it off. And then as we hang out here, we will notice a nice volcano that forms right there at the top right of the pot. At least it's top right according to the way we're viewing it. So once I got that volcano going, I just started stirring or whisking. You can use a spatula if you would like. I just like to whisk. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's soothing, cathartic. I just feel like it works for me, so that's what I do. So I just whisk it, and usually by this time I'm just wanting it to be done anyway, so I'm just going to keep whisking until it just continuously passes through phases and changes in morphs until it gets nice and done. So we will eventually hit we will eventually hit a nice applesauce phase. I think after this, actually it gets pretty applesaucey. Yeah, there we go. Looks just like it, doesn't it? Don't eat it though. I'm just saying. So the people that named these were hungry. I say that in every video because I'm just sure of it, because the next phase it starts morphing into is mashed potato phase. I'm like, applesauce and mashed potato, okay, they don't go together, first of all, but this is beside the point. So that's looking very mashed potatoey there, or it's getting there. All these phases really just mean that you are moving in the right direction and your soap is getting closer to done. So here we're pretty much at done soap phase. That's really not a name, but to me I feel like finished soap has a distinct scent. And also it has a look. It starts to look shiny, a little less opaque, and more like Vaseline. So here I'm measuring out my full fat Greek yogurt. It does not have to be full fat or Greek, but that's just what I like. It does need to be plain though. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop that. I was gonna say dump and drop at the same time. My brain and my mouth, they don't agree, and I wish they would stop it. So anyway, you put that in the pot. Give it a nice stir until it is fully incorporated. The yogurt is also to help keep the soap fluid. It is also just a very nice ingredient to add. And so now I'm going to add my colorants. It looks bluish, but it's purple. It's called Pow Purple, something like that, from Mad Micah's. You know how I love them. So I'm just combining that into some of the oils that I reserved from the initial recipe, like I do all the time. And then I went in with my charcoal, activated charcoal, and stirred that in. And then I'm dumping in the fragrance that you didn't see me measure, but I measured it beforehand. And I'm just giving that a good thorough stir just to make sure it's fully incorporated, or try my best, because sometimes it really does thwart me and I don't know why. Why can't we just get along? Anyway, just getting that thoroughly stirred in there. That's the point I'm making. So now I'm going to just measure off some of it, like half, so that I can color the soap. For all the beer soaps, I like to color one half black and the other half something else. So the something else in this video was the purple. And so I dumped the purple into that pitcher and just give it a nice thorough stir. It's so pretty. See, it looks more purpley now. It looked really blue in the cup though. Anyway, I'm going to stir in the black and get that fully incorporated. That looks good. And then what I like to do is what I call a modified, and not time for those yet, okay, modified in the pot swirl. And so I just pour the colors like just kind of intermittently back and forth so that there's a good mix of color within the pitcher. And then when I pour, it won't just be all of one color and then the next. And sometimes I stick my spoon in there and give it a big stir like you're supposed to with regular in the pot, but I don't know, I just like pretended like I didn't remember that was a thing in these last two videos, whatever. So I'm pouring it now into the cavity molds neatly. My first couple videos were disasters, but I've learned to be a little neater since then. And I actually start off sort of underfilling the molds as I go, just to make sure I don't make a big mess. And also just so I can make sure that I leave space to add more color if I need. Like if it all starts out being black with hardly any purple, then I would go back to add purple, or vice versa, just so I could ideally have a little balance within, you know, each bar. So that's kind of what I'm going back and doing now. These were all like a little too purpley, and they weren't full because I just said that I didn't pour them full. And so I'm just going in and filling them, and then just kind of trying to mix the colors a little bit better. So going back, I'm just going to fill all these, well, not all of them. There's 16 bars total, so I will fill 16 of the cavity molds, and then the last two just don't get filled. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how I could get, maybe if I put them instead of vertical, horizontal when I'm filling them next time. Why would you do that? Okay, sorry, I should have put my phone on mute, because now it's just got annoying notifications happening in the middle of my voiceover, which I'm not redoing. Okay, so you can't see those because they're off camera, which is bothering me, but it is what it is. Okay, so finish filling those up. I usually off camera just go and take a spoon or something and just dump the rest in there, so it's like they're all completely full and I didn't waste any soap. And then I'm going to take my metal chopstick and just kind of swirl the tops to just make them look a little bit swirlier, a little prettier, a little more presentable, if you will. Not that they were ugly before, but you know, I just think it looks a little better. And that's where I am with it. So I don't do a whole lot, just give it a little swirly top. That's all I'm really going for here. A little bit of work and moving on to the next one until it's done. So that's pretty much it as far as the making of these. They looked really good. I was really satisfied with the way they turned out. And then I put them in the freezer just like I do the loaf molds, and I let them stay in there for, I don't know, 5-6 hours, like the same amount of time. And then when I take them out, they have this very opaque not opaque, what am I saying, pastel. Those words aren't even close together, girl. Anyway, very pastel look, so the colors are very muted. And I always have to take these, anything that I make in these molds have to come out while they're frozen. If not, they won't ever come out, and if they do, they'll be mushed and ruined. And you still have to be careful when you're pushing them out. So like I kind of take the mold and kind of stretch it some before I ever start taking them out, and it's still mostly just holding onto the soap while I kind of pull the mold off of it, but sorry, my mouth, it hates me, but while being very careful about how I handle the soap, because you will see like a finger indentation, or it will like kind of mangle, you know, some parts of the soap if I'm too rough. Even though it's frozen, it's still soft. So I like to take them and like push from the bottom and then peel the mold from the side. Just, you know, it's kind of a two-hand working job, whatever you want to. I'm just making up nonsense now. I'm really sorry. So anyway, yeah. You can see what I'm doing. I'm showing you better than I'm telling you, for sure. So anyway, this is just a method I use to get any soaps out of these molds, because even though they're silicone, these are the only silicone molds that I've had like that much trouble getting anything out of while it's while things are not frozen. But I don't know, they come out okay when they're frozen, but I like the shape. The point is, it's a firm mold that holds its own shape, unlike the loaf molds that need like a structure. So that's why I like them, and they make a good circular soaps. I'm a fan, because I wanted these to look a little different than the others, since it's a completely different line of soaps. So anyway, that's what I've got here. I really enjoy making these. I think they're a lot of fun. And if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. If there's anything else you're interested in seeing, I'd be more than glad to make a video. If I can, let me know in the comments below. But after all that, thank you for watching, friends, and I will see you in the next one.